Hello, this is Mrs. Standridge. We're here today to talk a little bit more about Raymie Nightingale. Yesterday, I had asked you to think about how Raymie had changed from the beginning of the book until now. What did you come up with? If you'll remember, at the beginning of the book, Raymie was very set on winning the contest so that she could, her father would see her picture in the paper and would come home. But now Raymie is starting to think that that might not be such a good idea, and she's feeling very sad about that. She's sort of lost a little bit of hope, hasn't she? Yeah. Do you think that she's going to, things are going to work out for her? How do you think they're going to work out? Let's read a little bit more and see what we can find out. 33. They left Idanese and started walking down Lake Clara Road back toward town. Raymie was carrying Beverly's baton and her own baton. Raymie stopped occasionally to beat Idanese's baton against the small rocks and gravel on the side of the road. The lake glinted, appearing and then disappearing again as the road curved and they walked farther and farther away. "Where are we going?" asked Raymie. "We're getting the heck out of Dodge," said Louisiana. "That's right," said Beverly. She stopped and beat some more gravel with Idanese's baton. "Getting the heck out." "I know what," said Louisiana. "What?" said Raymie. "It's time. We three rancheros should go and rescue Archie." "We're not the three rancheros," said Beverly. "Well, who are we then?" asked Louisiana. "Look," said Beverly, "that cat can't be rescued." "You said you would help. Let's just go to the Very Friendly Animal Center and ask for him." "There is no Very Friendly Animal Center. How many times do I have to tell you that?" Raymie stood between Beverly and Louisiana and flexed her toes. She was suddenly terrified. "Are you going to help me or not?" said Louisiana. She stared at Beverly and Raymie. Her bunny barrettes glowed a molten pink on her head. It was so hot. "Fine," said Beverly. "We can go and look for the cat. All I'm saying is that you don't understand how the world works." "I do so understand how the world works," said Louisiana. She stamped her foot on the gravel. "I know exactly how it works. My parents drowned. I am an orphan. There is nothing to eat at the county home except for bologna sandwiches. And that is one way the world works." Louisiana took a deep breath. Raymie heard her lungs wheeze. "Your father is in New York City," said Louisiana. She pointed at Beverly. "And you tried to get to him, but you couldn't. You only made it to Georgia, and Georgia is just the next state up. That's not far away at all. And that's how the world works." Louisiana's face was very red. Her bunny barrettes were on fire. "And your father," she said, twirling to face Raymie, "has run away with a tooth-cleaning person, and you don't know if he'll ever come back. And that's how the world works." "But Archie is king of the cats, and I betrayed him. I want him back, and I want you to help me because we're friends. And that's also how the world works." Louisiana stamped her foot one more time. A little cloud of gravel dust rose up between the three of them. Raymie could feel her soul somewhere deep inside of her. It was a small, heavy, sad thing, a tiny marble made out of lead. She knew suddenly that she wasn't going to become Little Miss Central Florida Tire. She wasn't even going to try to become Little Miss Central Florida Tire. But Louisiana was her friend, and Louisiana needed to be protected. And the only thing Raymie could think to do to make things better right now was to be a good ranchero. And so Raymie said, "I'll go with you to the Very Friendly Animal Center, Louisiana. I'll help you get Archie back." The sun was high, high above them. It was beating down on them, staring, waiting. Fine, said Beverly. She shrugged. If that's what we're doing, then that's what we're doing. They walked the rest of the way into town in silence. Louisiana led them. 34. The Very Friendly Animal Center was a building made out of cinder blocks that were painted gray. Once, maybe in some other happier time, the cinder blocks had been pink. In several places, the gray was peeling away to reveal the pink, so it looked like the Very Friendly Animal Center had a skin disease. There was a small sign on the door. It said Building 10. The door was made out of warped wood painted gray. There was one small tree cringing in front of the building. It was leafless and brown. This is it, said Beverly. This is the place? It says it's Building 10, said Raymie. This is the Very Friendly Animal Center. This is where Granny brought Archie. Louisiana's voice was high and tight. Okay, said Beverly. Fine, this is the place. Do me a favor and let me do the talking, okay? Keep your mouth shut for once. It was very dark inside Building 10. There was a metal desk and a metal filing cabinet and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The floors were cement. There was a woman sitting at the desk eating a sandwich. And there was a door that was closed and that led to who knew where. Each of these details emerged out of the gloom slowly, grudgingly. Yep, said the woman at the desk. We're here to pick up a cat, said Beverly. No cats, said the woman. We put the cats down the day they come in. Oh, no, said Raymie. The woman took a bite out of her sandwich. Put them down, said Louisiana. Put them down where? Put them down what? A chute? The woman didn't answer. She sat and studied her sandwich. From behind the closed door there came a terrible noise. It was a howl of desperation and need and sorrow. It was the loneliest sound Raymie had ever heard. It was worse than Alice Nebley shouting for someone to take her hand. All the hairs on the back of Raymie's neck stood up. Her soul shriveled. She grabbed hold of Louisiana's arm. What's behind that door? Said Louisiana. She pointed at the door with her baton. Nothing, said the woman. Look, said Beverly. The cat's name is Archie. Can you check your records or something? We don't keep records of cats, said the woman. Too many cats. The cats come in, we put the cats down. Down where? Said Louisiana. Come on, said Beverly. We're leaving. No, said Louisiana. We're not leaving. He's my cat. I want him back. The howl rose up again. It filled the building. The woman at the desk took another bite of her sandwich, and the light bulb in the center of the room swayed back and forth as if it were trying to get up enough energy to leave Building 10 and go and find another, better room to illuminate. Raymie was still holding on to Louisiana. Beverly grabbed Louisiana's other hand. Come on, she said. Now, we have to leave. No, said Louisiana, but she let them pull her toward the door and then out the door and into the sunshine. What does she mean, put down? Asked Louisiana when they were all the way outside. Look, said Beverly, I told you. I've been telling you. The cat is gone. What do you mean gone? Said Louisiana. Dead, said Beverly. Dead. It was such a terrible word. So final, so inarguable. Raymie looked up at the blue sky, the sun. Maybe Archie is with Mrs. Borkowski, said Raymie to Louisiana. She had a sudden vision of Mrs. Borkowski sitting in her lawn chair in the middle of the street with a cat in her lap. No, said Louisiana, you lie. Archie isn't dead. I would know if he was dead. And then, before anybody could stop her, Louisiana opened the warped wooden door and went back inside. Hey, said Raymie. Here we go, said Beverly. They went together back into Building 10, where Louisiana was shouting, Give him back! Give him back! Give him back to me! while kicking the metal desk. The woman with the sandwich didn't seem upset or even particularly surprised at what was happening. Louisiana stopped kicking the desk and started beating it with her baton. This seemed to unnerve the woman a tiny bit. Probably no one had ever beaten her desk with a baton before. She put down her sandwich. "Stop that," she said. The baton hitting the desk made a hollow, reverberating noise. It sounded like a broken drum heralding the announcement of the death of a king. "I will stop it just as soon as you give me back Archie," shouted Louisiana. Raymie thought that it was maybe the bravest thing she had ever seen, someone demanding back something that was already gone. Watching Louisiana, Raymie felt her soul lifting up inside of her, even though the entire world was dark and sad and lit only by a single light bulb. "You were supposed to take care of him," said Louisiana to the lady. Bang! "You were supposed to feed him 3 times a day." Bang! "And scratch him behind the ears." Bang! "Just the way he likes." Bang, bang, bang. From behind the closed door, the terrible howl rose up again. Louisiana stopped beating the baton against the desk. She stood and listened, and then she bent over and put her hands on her knees and started taking in great big gulps of air. "She's going to pass out now," said Beverly to Raymie. "When she does, you grab her hands and I'll grab her feet and we'll carry her out of here." "I am not," said Louisiana, "going to pass out." And then she toppled over sideways. "Now," said Beverly. Raymie picked up Louisiana's hands and Beverly picked up her feet, and they carried her out of the very friendly animal center and laid her down under the small, defeated tree. Louisiana's chest was rising and falling. Her eyes were closed. "Now what?" said Beverly. Raymie flexed her toes. She closed her eyes and saw the single light bulb swaying back and forth. It wasn't bright enough at all. The light bulb was too small for that terrible dark room. There wasn't enough light anywhere, really. And then Raymie remembered Mrs. Sylvester's candy corn jar. She saw it glowing in the late afternoon sunlight streaming through the office of Clark Family Insurance. "We can take her to my father's office," said Raymie. "It's not far." All right, we're going to pause right there for today. I'd like you to think, one strategy for understanding what we read is to try to make predictions of what's going to happen next. What do you think might happen when Raymie and Beverly take Louisiana to her father's insurance office? If you're using this as one of your AMI lessons, that's the question that I want you to answer. I hope that you can join me tomorrow. I'll see you then. Goodbye.